Bonjour everyone and welcome to this class. As always, let's start cross-legged, sitting maybe on a block depending on your level of flexibility in the hips. I like to sit on a block so I can just relax and let go of the entire lower body. You can rest your hands maybe on your knees or maybe in between your legs, as you'd like, whatever makes you happy. And then make sure both sit bones are on that mat. Your belly is hanging out, just let it go. And then one last shoulder shrug. And then let your shoulders and shoulder blade melt down your back. Crown of the head reaching upwards. And then slowly close your eyes. We're going to start by focusing on our breath for a few minutes. And the first thing we're going to do is take a big inhale through the nose, filling up the lung. And big sigh out. 2 more times. And one more. Now slowly settle your breath. Steady inhales and exhales through the nose. Today start by feeling every part of your body. Maybe there is one little thing you're still holding on to. Maybe the legs, quads, hips, belly. Or anything around your face, eyebrows, your jaw, your tongue. And whilst you're still breathing in and out your nose, really try to let go all these body parts. I have amazing news for you this morning. Right now you have nothing to do. You just have to be here and breathe. All the time you will get thoughts coming into your head, coming into your mind. Just like clouds, just acknowledge them. No judgment or anything, and just let them pass by. And meditating is just an endless cycle of this. Thoughts popping into your head, you acknowledging them, then moving on and coming back to your breath. That's all there is to do. And finally today, have a think about one thing that you're grateful for. Whatever it is, as small or as big as you would like. And try to keep that in mind, maybe for the next hour or for the next day, even maybe for the next week. If things become difficult, whether it's in this class or in the outside world, you'll have something to hold on to, something that you're grateful, something that makes you smile. going to slowly come out of this meditation. Maybe gently open your eyes. You can keep them closed as you want. We're going to reach the right hand down on the mat. Inhale, left hand high up in the air. Exhale, we bend over to the right side, reaching with that right hand. Reaching with that left hand towards the right side. Keeping the shoulders in one same line, both sit bones on the mat. Maybe look up, looking down, introducing movement into your neck. Be gentle. And then bring the left hand down to the mat. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, we bend over to the left side this time. Still keeping both sit bones on the mat, and then reaching that right hand towards the left side. And again, look up, look down. Anything that feels good. Maybe you just want to stay looking down. And then slowly bring that right hand down towards the right side. We're going to go for a quick twist. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind your back. Inhale, elongate that spine. Exhale, we twist over to the right side. Really try to keep your twist on the exhale. It hurts like hell if you inhale and twist. And then slowly untwisting, other side. Left hand behind your back, right hand to that left knee. Inhale, elongate that spine. Exhale, twist over to the left side. And make sure you're not cranking up that neck to look to the back. It doesn't really matter. My stretch or my twist is as powerful with my hand looking, or my head looking forwards, backwards. All to do with the upper body rather than the head. Slowly untwist, and now we're going to go to the front, keeping either your glutes on the block or on that mat, and then we're going to slowly come forwards with a flat back at first, and if you'd like, once you feel you've elongated that spine and created space, then you can slowly come down to the mat, maybe touching your forehead on that mat, wherever you are. Letting go of your neck and head. And then slowly coming up. Now we're going to remove the block from under our glutes and we're going to rock up and down the mat just for a few times, trying to bring some movement into your body, reaching to the back, trying to accentuate the movements, really going far to the back, exaggerating to the front, using your core every time you come up. Obviously be gentle with where you are. And then the next time we come up, roll over on your knees or however you want to get there, into a tabletop, bringing your hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes untucked, keeping your back flat and pushing the ground away with the hands. We're going to go for a few cat-cow sequence. Inhaling, arching your back, looking up. Exhaling, tilting the tailbone in, looking at your navel, pushing the ground away. And two more times. Inhaling, looking up, tilting that tailbone in, exhaling. One more. And then slowly make your way back into that tabletop. Still your hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And from here, we're going to go for a tiger pose. So reaching the right hand in front of you, left feet to the back. Maybe this is where you're staying today. Maybe the next step is fine for you and you can bend that left knee. Other great variation. Otherwise, grabbing that left foot with the right hand, opening that right shoulder and kicking the left knee up. Optional tiger sound always. Wait until we get to the pigeon. This is going to be hilarious. Really opening that right shoulder, kicking that left knee up. And then slowly making your way down. Other side for that tiger pose. Left hand to the front, right foot to the back, reaching through the ball of the foot. And then again, wherever you'd like to stay, bending that right knee, grabbing it with the left hand, kicking that right knee up, opening the left shoulder, and still that right shoulder right under the right hand. Kick that right knee up, and then slowly come down to the mat, back into your tabletop. Slowly readjust your hands to make your way up into downward dog, tucking your toes in, sending the hips as high as you can into that downward dog. Downward dog, you start with your feet hip distance apart, maybe your knees bent, depending on your flexibility today. And then send the hips as high as you can, flatten your back, push the ground away with the hands, look at your navel, and then slowly straightening your legs one by one, walking out that dog. Linking your breath to your movement. And really keeping your legs straight now, sending your hips as high as you can, your back flat. Still pushing the ground away with the hands. Feeling the stretch through the back of the leg. And then from here, we're going to bend our knees, look forward, step that right foot in between the hands, followed by the left, into a halfway lift, keeping your back flat, your legs straight, and then exhaling into a forward fold. Ribs on your thighs, let the neck go, and then slowly come up, hands up to the ceiling, and down to your heart. Let's go for a few sun salutations to warm up the body. Let's start top of the mat, inhaling, sweeping the arms up, exhaling, hinging at the hips into a forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping back into a high plank. Making sure on your tiptoes, core engaged. Low back slightly rounded, hands under the shoulders, still pushing the ground away. As it is the first one probably of the day, bring your knees on the mat, and we're going to keep our hips high up, and then bringing the chin and the chest to the mat, hands right in front of your shoulders. Inhale, coming up into a baby cobra or a cobra wherever you are. Looking to the left, looking to the right, coming back down to the mat. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling, coming up, trying to go as much forward as upwards, using your back muscles. And then last one, let's do it without the hands, just to show you how much you're using your back, or your hands, and how much you should use your back. And then hands to the mat, tuck your toes in, send the hips high into a downward dog. From your downward dog, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the front of the mat into that halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, and then rise up, hands up to the ceiling, go straight back down, forward fold, inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, you step back into that high plank, slowly coming down to that low plank, hinging forwards, and then when your elbows are 90 degrees, inhale, coming up into that up dog, engaging the glutes, exhaling, downward dog. One breath here, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the front, halfway lift, flat back, exhaling, forward fold. And then slowly rise up, hands up to the ceiling, going straight back down for a third time. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, we step back into that high plank. Chaturanga coming down to low plank. Inhaling into an up dog. Exhaling, downward dog. One breath here. And bend your knees. Jump to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhaling, forward fold. And then rise up. And you're going down for the fourth and last time into that forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat and jump back into a high plank. Lowering to low plank, elbows really brushing the side of your ribs. Inhaling into an up dog, looking up, engaging those quads and those glutes. And exhaling, downward dog. And let's breathe for a few seconds. Slowing the heart rate down. Coming back to your steady inhales and exhales through the nose. That's all that matters right now. It's just your breath. You could even go for a child's pose for a few breaths. That's always an option in my classes. I love to push people, I love to push myself, but there is a smart way to do it. Let's try to do it that way. And then from here, time to go for a few lunges. So from your down dog, we're gonna inhale and reach the right leg high up in the air, staying into that three-legged dog, keeping the integrity of your down dog. And from there, step that right foot in between the hands for lunge, which means the back knee goes on the mat, toes untucked, and then use your core to come up, hands interlaced onto your knee, and then sink into your lunge. Really try to let go of anything around the hips and just sink into it, using those hands to push the upper body away, upper body straight, pelvis tucked in. And then we got our lovely lunge. And then frame the front foot and step back into a high plank, lowering down to low plank. Inhale is up dog, and exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up, hips on the same level, there's no pulling or anything, just the legs straight and high up, and then we step it in between the hands for the lunge on that left side this time, using your core to come up, interlace your fingers on that left knee, push that left knee away, upper body straight. And then frame that front foot, step back, high plank. Coming down for your chaturanga, coming down into low plank. Inhale is up dog. Exhale, downward dog. One more time on each side, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, lunge on that right side. This time both hands high up in the air. Sink lower if you can, go deeper, let go of those hips. And then frame that front foot, step back, high plank. Come down, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left side, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Lunge on that left side. This time both hands high up in the air. Like you just don't care. One more breath here. And then frame that front foot, step back into yet another plank, coming down to low plank. Up dog on your knee, inhale, exhale, downward dog. Reset in your down dog, send the hips high, slightly bend the knees if you need to. And then bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the front, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and then slowly rise up, hands up to the ceiling, down to your heart. Now let's go for everyone's favorite pose, chair pose. I'm actually really starting to dig that pose. Bringing the legs together, toes touching, big toes touching, legs together, and then sink the hips low, tuck the pelvis in, bring the arms high, relax the shoulders, let them melt down your back, and maybe if you can, come lower. Toes off the floor, this way the entire leg is active and you're not injuring yourself in any way. And then slowly folding forward. Inhale into a flat back and exhale, hands to the mat, we step back into a high plank. Coming down to low plank. Inhale is up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, warrior one on that right side. Left foot pivots 45 degrees. Use your core to come up. Left hip bone coming towards the front so we have our hips parallel to the mat. If that's too difficult, just widen the stance. You should really feel it in the left hip flexor. You should still be able to see your big toe on that right foot. Otherwise you're too much in the front. And then frame that front foot, step back high plank, lowering down to low plank. Inhaling is up dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, warrior one on that left side. That right heel pivots 45 degrees. Use your core to come up. Hips facing forwards, which means slightly have to pivot that right hip bone. And then this time I'm really feeling it in the right hip flexor. God, it feels good. And then frame that front foot and step back in a high plank. Coming down to that low plank. Inhaling into an up dog and exhaling. Downward dog. I hope you all warmed up. I am now. Let's stay in that down dog for just a few breaths before we start flowing a little bit more rapidly. Always use that time to come back to your breath. Slowing the heart rate down, making sure you're breathing in and out your nose. And then today we're going for a pose that I absolutely love called Bird in Paradise. If you're not familiar with it, it is a fun one. It does involve binding. If binding is too difficult, you have the option to stay at the pose right before binding, or you can use maybe a shirt or a towel and use that, or strap if you have one, and use that to help you bind. Let's go into it. From our downward facing dog, sending the hips as high as we can, and then inhale, right leg high up in the air, still keeping the integrity of your down dog, just with one leg high up in the air, and exhale, step that right foot in between your hands, warrior one. Use your core to come up, sink into your warrior one, shoulders relaxed. And then inhale, reaching up. Exhale, open into warrior two, adjusting your feet so that the front heel is in the same line as the middle of the back foot. And then legs are strong, that right knee is bent, and then shoulders are right above the hip bones. Both hands in one straight line. Finally, engage the inner thighs. And to engage the inner thighs, you really have to feel like your heels are coming closer one to each other, but they're not moving. And then your inner thighs should really be on fire. And from here, inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, opening that right side of the body, maybe looking down, maybe looking up, but for sure, reaching to the back with that right hand. And the legs or the lower body is not moving in the next few poses. Coming back to that warrior two. And from here, reaching your hands behind your back, inhaling, looking up, exhaling, sinking into that humble warrior, sending both hands high up in the air. Hello from here. Bringing those hands as high as you can, and then using your core to come back up. Your legs are still here, but your legs might be on fire, I get that. So if you want, straighten that front leg, take one breath here, and then slowly sink back into your warrior two. Now let's go for that bird in paradise. First we go into an extended side angle, reaching to the front, and then bending over. The elbow meets the inside of that knee. You can use a block on the inside of that foot just to stay here, or you can just rest here. And that's perfectly fine for today. If you want to go a little bit deeper, I suggest you bring that right shoulder under the right knee, grab it with your left hand behind your back, and then we're going to bring the left foot to the front, and I'm going to pivot to show you. Rising on that left foot, up, extending the right leg as much as you can. I'm staying here. And then if you can, looking the opposite way. So if I go back to where I was, extended side angle, reaching under the right knee, grabbing with the left hand. Maybe here it's just a block or a strap, not a block, a strap or towel. And then coming to the front, using the strength of that left foot and extending that right leg towards the right side. And stay here, one more breath if you can. And then let's all make our way back to that warrior two. Woohoo! Let's do this. And then from your warrior two, framing that front foot and stepping back into a high plank, lowering down to low plank. Inhale is up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths in that down dog. Just again, catching our breath, catching my breath. 2. And then you know what we're going for. The other side is next, left side this time. You'll see that your hips might not be as open on one side than on the other. So don't judge yourself if the left side is not as pretty or to the right. That's fine. And then from your down dog, inhale the left leg high up in the air. Exhale, warrior one on that left side. Use your core to come up, sink into that warrior one. Hands high up in the air, like you just don't care. Maybe second time is more funny, I don't know. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, we open into a warrior two. This time my butt is not facing the camera, so much better. Maybe I should start with the left side. Let me know if that's better. And then from here, we're sinking into that warrior two, making sure we can still see the big toe. Both arms in one same line. Check where the back arm is. It's always doing something weird. Kind of forget about it over there. And then from here, flip that front palm, reverse the warrior, reach to the back with that left hand, and then stay into that warrior two legs. Reaching to the back, opening the left side of the body, and back into your warrior two. My legs haven't moved, and they shouldn't. If you want, straighten that front leg and bend again into that warrior two. Then humble warrior. Inhaling, hands behind your back, exhaling, reaching that left shoulder towards the inside of the left knee, reaching both hands high up in the air. Let the shoulders go, let the upper body go. Go as deep as you can into that humble warrior. And then use your core to come up, legs still in warrior two. And let's go for that bird in paradise. So first extended side angle, reaching to the front. Inhale, exhale, bending over. And maybe that's fine for today. Maybe you'll stay here. Such a strong pose already, so I do not blame you. If you want to go slightly deeper, interlace your hands behind your back, under the left knee, opening the right shoulder, and then jumping on that right foot, front of the mat. Let me pivot to show you, like Ross would say, pivot! And then raising on that right foot, trying not to fall down. And it's okay if you do. Keeping that right leg straight, strong, that will help with your balance. And then extending that left foot as far as you can. And maybe you're gonna fall down and that's completely fine. Come back into your bird in paradise. One more time if you fell down. And in a few breaths, we'll all meet slowly into that warrior two. Woo. Making sure everything is still in place. Maybe again, if you like, straighten that front leg. God, it's working. You gotta love warrior two, but tough pose. And then from here, frame the front foot, stepping back into a high plank, lowering to low plank. Inhale into Up Dog or Cobra. Exhale, Downward Dog. Again, we take a few breaths in that Down Dog. Slowing the heart rate down. Coming back to your steady inhales and exhales through the nose. You could do a child's pose if you like, bringing your knees as wide as the mat, sinking the glutes into the hips, and then that chest forward on the mat. Wherever you are, stay there. If you do want a challenge, you can always go into that dolphin, so that downward dog with your elbows on the mat. Try to keep both forearms parallel. And then send those hips as high as you can. And slowly over time, bring those toes closer to the mat. Just to show you, it should look something like that. And then bringing those toes closer to the face, looking to the front, into that dolphin. Let's all meet in a down dog. Sending the hips high again, bending the knees if you need to. And then looking forward, bend your legs. Jump to the front of the mat, halfway lift, flat back. Exhaling, forward fold. And then let's rise up, hands up to the ceiling, down to your heart. Let's go for a bit of a balancing series. So first let's start into an eagle pose. So we are going to raise the right leg in front of us, hover it over the left, which means that the right hand goes under the left. Grab anything you can grab on that hand. That's perfectly fine to put that right foot on the mat too. Some days balance is just horrendous. And then from here, we're gonna sink lower with your back flat. And then extending forwards. Elbow to the knee. Feel a deep stretch in the lower back. And then if you like, extend those elbows to the front, feeling this time a stretch in the upper back, shoulder blades. And from here, either keep your hands as they are, or maybe hands to your heart, and then kick that right foot to the back into warrior three, also known as aeroplane, making sure both legs are straight, hips on the same level, and then hands maybe to your heart, maybe to the back, or to the front, slightly harder with hands to the front. And then from here, grab that block or that book or whatever, and then stacking the hips one on top of the other, we open into a Halfmoon Pose, reaching the right hand up in the air, keeping both legs very straight, very engaged. Maybe using a block, maybe I'm not using a block. If you want something even harder, reaching both hands towards the front. Maybe I can show you, maybe I can't. I don't think I can today. And then let's slowly make our way back into that warrior two. I know your legs are on fire, it's okay. Just gotta breathe through it. And then straighten the left foot. And we're gonna go for a wide leg forward bend. So making sure your legs are wide. Maybe not as wide as you can, just maybe like 80-90%. And then pigeon toe, hands to your hips. Let's sink forward, bringing your hands under the shoulders. And maybe here you want to readjust, maybe you want to go slightly deeper. Perfectly fine. And then slowly try to bring that head to the mat. Maybe bringing hands to the back, reaching the white wall for me. What's important is that you try to go a little bit deeper every time, whether it's your feet going a little bit wider or you going a little bit further to the back. And then bring those hands under the shoulders. This time we're grabbing maybe the toes on both sides. Maybe it's only the ankle or the shins today. That's perfectly fine too, wherever you are. Just grab something on both feet. Let your neck and head go. Stay here for a few breaths and then bring your hands under the shoulders. Slowly heel toe your feet closer together. Bend the knees, hands to your hips, and slowly bring that upper body up. And then back foot comes to the front. Woohoo! And then from here, we're gonna go for the other side. So bringing that left knee high up, hovering it over the right, which means the left hand goes under the right. Eagle pose, sinking into that eagle pose, bringing your back flat at first, and then hinging forward, elbow to knee. Try not to fall down. And then we're gonna extend that left leg to the back, either keeping your hands into an eagle hand or maybe hands in prayer to your heart. Maybe both hands reaching the back or to the front. One thing for sure is that right leg is strong, straight, left leg is as high as you can, and hips on the same level. And then from here, reaching maybe to that block, or just reaching down to the floor, opening the hips, stacking the left hip on top of the right into a Halfmoon Pose, reaching the left hand high up in the air. Both legs are straight, and then slowly make your way back into warrior two. A long time we haven't been there. And then frame that front foot and step back into a high plank, lowering down to low plank. Inhale is up dog or cobra. Engage those glutes, look up. Exhale, downward dog. And again, we're gonna rest here for a few breaths in that down dog. Option for that dolphin again. Elbows on the mat, forearms parallel to each other. The rest, down dog. Otherwise, child's pose is also a great option. Very different goals, depending on what you want to do. If you just want to rest a little bit more, that child's pose is golden. And from everyone, let's meet into that down dog. And from your down dog, you're gonna bend your knees, look forward, and just bring your knees over on the mat. You can use a block if this is too uncomfortable. So bringing that block under your glutes, or you can just sit the way we were seated at the beginning of the class. And from here, you're like, what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna go for a few breathing techniques. Nothing too complicated, just counting the inhales, counting the exhales, slowly introducing, holding your breath towards the end. So make sure you're seated, maybe kneeling, maybe cross-legged. Make sure you have that upper body straight so we can breathe freely. And then maybe palms of the hands resting on the knees. And let's take big inhale through the nose. Big sigh out. 2 more times. Fill up the lungs. And then let's inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1. Exhale 1. Now up to 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale for 1, 6. Inhale 1, 2, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now holding the breath. Inhale 1, hold the breath. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time. Inhale 1. Hold the breath. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a big inhale through the nose. Big sigh out. Now slowly open your eyes. Remove the block, if you had one, lodged in between your legs. And again, let's take some time to bring the knees as wide as the mat. Sink the hips into the heels. Reach forwards into that child's pose. Resting your head on the floor, on the mat. Still only focusing on your breath. Then take your time to make your way up into down dog. Again, sending those hips high. And from here, we're going to inhale, right leg high up in the air. Open the hips, stacking that right hip on top of the left. Maybe bringing movement into that right side. And then slowly bringing that right knee to the right wrist, setting up for your pigeon. We're going to stay here just 1 minute on each side. Trying to bring that right wrist or right knee to your right wrist. Right shin somewhat parallel to the mat, but mine isn't and will never be. Left leg far to the back, left toes untucked. If you want challenge, you can interlace your hands behind your back, maybe grabbing your elbows, and then slowly bringing your nose to the mat, coming back up using your glute strength and your core. 2 more times. Up. Please don't break your nose. And 1 last time. And then you can slowly make your way down into that pigeon. Really trying to let go, opening the hips as much as you can. You can always put a block under that right glute to avoid collapsing on one side or the other. And if this hurts your knee, the best way to do that pigeon stretch otherwise is a lazy pigeon or a figure four stretch. Bringing the right ankle to the left knee, bending that left knee, and then interlacing your hands behind that left knee and grabbing it, bringing it closer to your face so you really feel the stretch right here. Otherwise, we're still in that pigeon. And then take your time to come up. Collapse on that right side. Bring the left foot to the front. We're keeping that right knee bent. Right sole of the feet into your thigh. And then left leg is straight. And then your toes active, pointing towards my face. So again, we have safety into that entire left leg. We're relaxing the right head, the right leg. Inhale, both hands high up in the air. Exhale with a flat back. We're grabbing anything we can grab on that left side. And then slowly rounding that back. Maybe bringing your head to your knee. Maybe you're grabbing your toes, ankle, shin, whatever it is. Maybe you're going even deeper and grabbing a block after those toes. It's fine. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. And then slowly come up. Use your right hand to lift that right knee. Hover it over the left. And let's go for a twist. Right hand behind your back. Left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Inhale, elongate that spine. Exhale, twist over to the right side. And then slowly untwist. Both hands to the opposite side. And then let both legs go in front of you. Maybe give them a shake. And we're going to do the same thing. So let's go for that pigeon on the left side. Two options. Either you cross-legged, roll over on your knees into a down dog and then set up for your pigeon, bringing left knee to left wrist. Or the lazy way. My favorite way. It's just bending that left leg, sending the right to the back, and then slowly using a little bit of arms, a little bit of strength to come up into your pigeon on that left side, making sure the right leg is as far back as you can. And then if you've done the challenge on one side, let's do it on the other. It is harder on this side for me. Maybe it is the case for you too. Let's do that 3 times. And then one last time. And finally, setting up for that pigeon. Again, if this hurts on one side, I've shown you already how to modify that. And then let's just stay in that pigeon for a few minutes. Try to really let go of your neck and head. Really sinking into the pose, relaxing into the pose. Letting go of anything that you're holding on to. Similarly to the meditation, you can close your eyes and try to visualize anywhere, or feel even better, anywhere where you're still holding on to something. And then take your time to come up, collapsing on that left side of the body and setting up, bringing the right leg forward and setting up for this head to knee pose. Bending that left knee, left leg to the left side. Inhale, both hands high up in the air. Exhale, we grab anything we can grab on that right feet, on that right leg. Bringing the toes closer to your face. Active leg, safe leg. And then bring the head closer to the knee. Slowly come up. Use your left hand to bring the left knee high up. Hover it over the right. And let's go for a twist Left hand behind your back, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, elongate that spine. Exhale, we twist over, this time to the left side, the white wall side for me. Remember, the twist comes from the upper body. And then slowly untwist, both hands to the opposite side for counter twist. That's absolutely lovely. And then bringing both legs in front of you, giving them a shake. And then just bend your knees, sole of the feet on the mat. And then let's slowly make our way to the mat. Have a full body stretch, reaching both hands over your head. Reaching both legs down. And then slowly bring those knees into your chest. Give yourself a massive hug. Sway from left to right. I like to go for a supine twist here. So sending the left leg away, right knee stays into your chest, and then we hover that right knee over to the left side. Shoulders stay on the mat. And then your knee lands wherever the knee lands, doesn't matter. Look at the opposite side. Take your time to untwist, switch legs, and then send that left leg towards the right side. Knees still, not knees, shoulders still on the mat. And then untwist, let both legs go. One final time, let's tuck that pelvis so we have the entire back flat on the mat. Hands far away from your body, legs far away from each other, and set up for your Shavasana. The best pose of all, the easiest one to do, but the hardest one to master. Slowly closing your eyes, letting the breath go. And then letting that body really melt into the floor. Anything that happened in the last hour does not matter anymore. Just focus on the now. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. Deepening your breath. And then slowly start introducing movement into toes, fingers, your hands. Maybe slowly moving the arms, legs, and then reaching high above your head for a full body stretch. Still lying down on the floor. And then bringing your knees into your chest. Giving yourself a big hug because you've worked so hard in the last hour. And then sending both knees towards the right side. Let's stay here for just a few breaths. One of my favorite time in a yoga class. And then make your way up, just the way we started, cross-legged. Maybe sitting on a block, maybe not. This time bring your hands to your heart. It is so rare to have silence in this world that sometimes you have to take a break and just enjoy it. I'm usually grateful for all of you joining this video. Have a lovely day. Namaste. Thank you so much, people. Can't wait to film another one for you. Have a great day. See you soon.